bad pro-life argument?
Yeah, so I think there's some pro-life arguments that I think are philosophically like valid, but maybe not persuasive to that many pro-choice people because of where they're coming from or what their other views are. And so there are a lot of those. I've got a whole talk on our website. I think it's called like 8 or 9 faulty pro-life arguments and tactics. But I think of all of them, the very worst. This is like the argument like, I want pro-life people to completely abandon this thing. This is just a bad argument. We kind of sometimes call it the Beethoven argument. Like, well, abortion's wrong and it should be illegal because you might be killing the next Beethoven or the next curer of cancer, or you don't know what this person's going to be able to do in the future. I think this is an awful argument. I understand why some people would gravitate to it. Like it's like kind of like an emotionally moving argument. It's the primary reason that Donald Trump says he became pro-life, but it's not a philosophically good argument. First of all, it works both ways. Like, yeah, some abortions might kill the next, Beethoven or the next, John Williams or Hans Zimmer. It also might kill like the next rapist or something like that. Like what are you trying to prove? Ultimately, I think this argument actually falls into, it kind of buys a premise of a lot of pro-choice arguments. One of the main areas where pro-life and pro-choice people tend to disagree, not always, but tend to disagree, is that pro-choice people think that human value is instrumental, meaning it's valuable because of either what the person can do functionally or maybe what they offer back to society. Whereas pro-life people don't think that's what human value comes from. They think human value is intrinsic. It's a part of like what the thing is. You're valuable because of the kind of thing you are. And so this argument sort of buys into like the instrumental value argument, as if like, well, no, the reason abortion's wrong is because of all the good things that could have happened to society. That's an awful argument. And I have seen pro-choice people call pro-lifers out on it, and they're right. I was on a college campus one time, I was talking to this guy, this like big like biker guy. And then these two kind of pro-life Christians showed up, and they're like, man, but what about like all the Beethovens that could have been killed? And I kind of paused and kind of said, like, can I tell you why I think that is maybe the worst pro-life argument I've ever heard? I don't always do this to pro-lifers, but I felt like this is what my pro-choice new friend here needed from me. And I kind of stood up for him. And I didn't even have to explain why. He jumps in, he's like, yeah, you're pro-life. You should never make an argument based on the potential of the child. You're pro-life. You should think it is valuable regardless of what it's going to do. Like I've seen pro-choice people, like they get that. Whereas a lot of pro-life people, like, I think they're well-meaning. I'm not trying to be nasty to them or anything. It's just an argument is terribly unpersuasive and frankly buys into too many pro-choice premises for me to be familiar with, for me to be comfortable with. And so what I'm going to want to do is encourage pro-life people to instead argue that you should not kill people regardless of what they're going to do in the future. You should not kill people because the unborn are innocent. They're innocent, valuable human beings that should have an equal right to life with everybody else.